I need you to help me work this out, okay? So the Department of Health and Human Services plans to spend nearly $800,000 of your taxpayer dollars to curtail structural racism on chronic kidney disease by applying critical race theory to the field of health, because according to researchers, the current treatment regimen for chronic kidney disease fails to attend to the role of structural racism. I'm lost.
All those are just buzz terms to say, hey, we're money laundering, and we're just going to use a bunch of fake terms, fake jobs all across the board, and this is just how we're going to preface it. I have no idea what that means, Sarah. I'm going to be completely honest with you. But
like, I've read this 5 times, and I still don't understand what I'm reading.
This goes to show just how bad things are in the West. And how they have to apply like diversity and representation, inclusion and equity and all these, everybody's obsessed with that. So they have to apply everywhere where it doesn't need to be, like at all. That has nothing to do with any of this. Now, I don't know if, and maybe there's something that we missed, but to my knowledge, yes, there are differences between, let's say, a person like me who's of African descent. Another brother here is also of African descent.
Hold on. I am also 2%.
That's also of African, so, but it depends also on what side, right? Certain fast twitch muscles. That's a different thing. I don't think that's what they're talking about, because I don't think the kidneys have anything to do with any of that. It's just that for them, they're like, well, it's a hustle.
Yeah.
This stuff is everywhere. I think people need to understand
it's a hustle.
This DIE stuff
really
is everywhere. It's in gaming. It's in every form of entertainment. It's Best Buy, for whatever reason, has a diversity officer.
Everyone has a diversity officer.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's the widget. It's the widget, and they'll put it on the kidney, and then the spleen, and then they'll go to the tonsils, and wherever, right? It doesn't matter.
What the hell is structural racism anyway?
Yeah,
that's what I'm asking.
Well, they went from maybe I can help. They went from institutional to structural. That's their new word, because they couldn't get institutional racism to stick. Structural racism in the kidney. It's
are they accusing God of being racist?
No, here's what that is. That is called an LSD high in the moment of writing some thesis. No, look, they'll put it on anything. It is fear-based. It is fear-mongering. It is to insinuate that there is, in fact, a difference in healthcare and what type of care people will receive. But they're not saying that. They're just saying that the kidneys are crying out, help us, please. And the people are answering.
It's because people are racist.
Of the kidneys.
That's why the kidneys are messed up, because of racism.
Yeah. Well, so when we talk about structural racism, maybe this is what they mean. So on a day where I'm going to take a situation that is very not funny, okay, and talk about for a second the Francis Scott Key Bridge that was over in, Baltimore, that just a big giant cargo ship. Here this is this big giant cargo ship. It clearly starts losing power because you see the lights go out several different times. They were calling for Mayday. We hear from reports there's power loss number 1. You see the lights go out. Those of you who are listening on podcasts, this is a gigantic cargo ship out of Singapore. And the lights go out. They regain power for a moment. And then the lights, there's a bunch of smoke coming out from the back of the ship. The lights go out again. And then right as the lights are coming back on, it's clearly too late, and it runs into the bridge, which you will see collapse in a moment. And so there were construction workers that were fixing the bridge. This is just, that's devastating. Okay, so horrible, tragic, awful. But this is how ridiculous our administration is, okay? We have a transportation secretary who, instead of talking about things like this, wants to talk about, again, maybe this is what he meant by structural racism. Bridges are now racist. Watch.
If an underpass was constructed such that a bus carrying mostly black and Puerto Rican kids to a beach, or that would have been in New York, was designed too low for it to pass by, that obviously reflects racism that went into those design choices. I don't think we have anything to lose by confronting that simple reality, and I think we have everything to gain by acknowledging it and then dealing with it, which is why the Reconnecting Communities, that $1 billion, is something we want to get to work right away.
That's insane, man.
Look.
That is absolutely insane. But
no, hold on. Obviously, that's what he said. Obviously, that's racist.
no, he didn't.
Obviously,
Look,
Eric.
This is what happens with these crack smokers. They start at one spot and then they're trying to work backwards. So something is right. That's the only time they can find something is bad objectively, is that they have to pin racism on it. So they're going to start there and then they work backwards. So this is why everything sounds all fluffed up, because it is. None of it has to make sense. They're like, we needed to prove this is racism, and therefore we're going to wiggle our way through and use all these buzz terms because they can't make sense of it at all. How the hell do they expect us to make sense of it? So they just throw a bunch of word salad out there, structural racism, all this good stuff, buses with Puerto Rican kids on it, bam, racism. And we need to reconsider this.
Yeah, nobody thought maybe give the kids a bus with a lower roof and then they can go through, or maybe any bus with anybody on that bus, no matter the skin color on the bus or the kidney, the racist kidney or the pancreas that's on the bus will get stuck because the bus is maybe too high for the bridge.
Well, that's why I'm like, do black kids and Puerto Rican kids ride in taller buses?
I have no idea.
What he's insinuating, it's obvious,
idea.
Sarah. It's obvious.
And
It's
make no
obvious
mistake,
that
this
he
guy-
is part of the Dumb and Dumber crew.
Well, because and he's extremely silly, but this guy.
Excuse me, where's your respect? That is your leader of transportation.
That's
in
the
this
problem.
nation,
That you bring up the point
that
that I was
man
about
also
to make.
will talk to you about breast milk on a man.
I liked it better when he
Okay.
was on maternity leave, honestly.
That's the problem. And I guess what we're supposed to respect is like this highest. He's the czar right here
Yeah.
with transportation, albeit wasn't necessarily elected. Of course, bought in with the current regime. This guy, to my knowledge, when I was initially doing the research on him when he first got the position, there's no track record in this industry. The guy has no idea what he's going on about, yet we're supposed to believe that he is the one that is going to be in charge. And you can see that he has no idea what he's going on about because he's talking about racism and other things which have nothing, absolutely nothing to do with the
gets
bridge.
you. A guy that couldn't build a bridge out of Legos
I
to
think
check a box.
is the head of transportation, who basically takes a break when he is really needed, and we have a crisis with ships amassing, remember, in ports outside Los Angeles, and nobody can get any goods.
you guys are. Listen, I heard he
Are
was
we-
called Pothole Pete because he fixed all the potholes in South Bend when he was mayor.
Pothole Pete.
Mayor Pothole
Pothole Pete.
Pete.
Really?
So Eric, you're saying he's not qualified for the job. That was a lot of potholes over there in South Bend.
Well, Sarah,
Okay?
Yes, I'll raise my cup on that and just say, let me know how that works out for you.
So, I mean, look, it's terrible what happened to that bridge, but like this is who is in charge of fixing it.
Yeah, right.
This.
And you know, on a serious note, when you go back and you say, okay, or let's say this bridge was constructed below compliance or whatever, then let's go and see who got the contract. And in those liberal cities, most likely it's one of their buddies with all the nepotism that got one of the contracts. But none of that matters. Nothing. Common sense is gone. Doesn't matter. It's racism because a bus got stuck. Well, who was on the bus? Only count the buses with the black kids on it, or the Puerto Rican kids on
Black
it,
and Puerto Rican. Make sure you add that. It's important.
right? You can't. I mean, kidney's racist.
There are quotas here
Structurally.
we have to reach. Yes.
Structurally, the kidney is in the wrong position. It's racist. It
Damn
needs to
kidneys,
move.
man. Damn racist kidneys, man. Trying to tell you, man. You gotta watch them. I'm
hold
glad
on.
we're finally addressing this issue.
Let's-
of them
thank
damn
you.
racist
My
kidneys.
kidneys
Thank
are
you.
not racist.
Let's-
They're in the right position structurally.
Let's quickly, before we go to break here, let's quickly go over what all we know to be racist, okay? Kidneys, milk, trees,
Buses.
buses,
Roads. Remember the
Bridges.
Dallas roads, bridges.
roads. What have I missed?
Yeah.
Everything's
I mean,
racist somehow.
White people,
Of course, that's automatic.
which is why milk is racist, okay? in case you didn't make the connection there.
Cows are racist because they only produce
Cows.
white milk.
Thank you.
Sarah.
Thank you.
Okay, when they told me in second grade they make a cow eat chocolate and they shake the cow and that's chocolate milk, it was a lie. Those darn racist cows, they don't make chocolate milk.
The unfortunate part, I know we got to go to break here. The unfortunate part is when everything is racist, then nothing is racist.
It's true.
And we can't actually address the issues that do still plague us that are or do happen to be racist.
Maybe that's the point. Jeremiah Wright, Louis Farrakhan, Jesse
that is.
Jackson. It
We're
is
gonna
to
chew.
perpetuate.
Al Sharpton. If you like this clip and you want to see the full episode, click here. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, come on, you know you do. Click here.